I'm not gonna lie, I really dig our intro music. Like, it reminds me of growing up and like everything I used to listen to. Like, that is pure fueled by ramen compilation type music, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yes. Oh, the old by ramen comps, or like what was the other one? Drive Through Records. They had one, and then there was
the Fat Records compilations, all of the Punkorama stuff, like all of that.
There it is, Punkorama. That's definitely Punkorama stuff. But anyway, we're here.
Welcome to For Exposure.
For Exposure.
I am Blair Pacheco, joined by my incredible best friend and co-host Pluggo. We're here bright
Sunday morning.
Oh, it's early.
It's a little different vibe.
It's okay. Next week we'll be back to normal. We'll be back on our regular Saturday time slot, but we still wanted to bring to you the hot new show, the talk about all the incredible indie wrestling that's been going on, because that's what we're here for. So as early as it is, we're going to power through this, and we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to talk wrestling. We're going to crack some jokes and just have a good time.
Maybe. So, you don't know. It might not be funny. Who knows?
I fully believe we will be. I fully believe. I feel we're at peak tiredness that anything and everything will be way too funny that it shouldn't be. So.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh, Bebe in the house. What's up, Bebe?
Hey, Bebe.
What's good? Bebe, if you're here and you're an independent wrestling fan, what did you enjoy from independent wrestling this week? Let us know in the chat. We'd love to know.
I mean,
because admittedly, I didn't get to watch as much as I usually watch because it's actually my son's birthday today. Mm-hmm. We had a party yesterday that took up a lot of my week planning and prepping, and balloons and cakes and hot dogs and baseballs. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Going on. So, but that's okay. We had an awesome show on Friday night here on this very platform, not channel, because it was over on the Twitch, but this platform, LPW 15.
There was
we have a run-in.
We do. She's making a nice coffee, so it's good. Sorry. You do not need to apologize.
No, that is fine. I could use an iced coffee. Send one this way.
I'll see if she can mail one out to you right away, and it'll get there in 7 to 10 days.
It's early. as long as there's caffeine in it, I'll take it.
So there was a lot that happened at Love Wrestling 15 vulgar display of Powerbomb on Friday night. Powerbomb. I know. Admittedly, the reason we had to move this to Sunday was a few months back. I promised my incredible fiance I would go camping with her for the first time, and we did that Friday night. Which,
how was that, Blair Grills?
It was great. Like I had my little sweatpants on, my little bag of chips sitting by the fire, and we just hung out and talked and just had a good time. And then I fell asleep in the car, and we woke up the next morning, made our breakfast, and came back home. It was good.
All right. Are you going to be a future camper from now on, or are we just one and done?
No, I told her I had a good time and that I would like to go camping with her again. So as long as she will put up with my crap, then she will take me with her. So
Blair Grills is back, baby.
Blair Grills, camper extraordinaire.
That's awesome. That's great. I'm excited for you. You have fun doing that. I'm going to sleep in my bed.
What can I say? So, I mean, you were able to check out some of Love Wrestling on Friday, correct?
Yeah, I was able to check out pretty much all of it. Like I said, I was in and out at the early stage, but I caught back up. So live.
I think he froze. That's what I'm going to assume with on my side. So, yeah. That seems to be the case where Pluggo's screen froze up. So, I mean, I know that there was some big happenings. If his screen didn't freeze, it's going to be really weird because you have both of us talking at the same time. But, yeah. Camping with a camper, baby. I mean, that might be the plan in the future, but currently it will just be me doing the sleeping in the car. She will have the tent, and I'm a little bit of a camping princess to start, so it'll build up to the tent maybe. But we'll wait for Pluggo to get his thing sorted out. I know that there was some news on the independent scene when it comes to announcements and that. And the former Tyler Breeze from WWE, he is going to be making his independent debut return. He'll be wrestling with Prestige Wrestling coming up this September, so that is going to be a lot of fun. Very curious to see what he's going to be able to do out there. There's a lot of potential for some fun matchups. And I think it'll be interesting to see just what he has coming out. I mean, Dango, he was able to do a few independents. He did Limitless, Beyond, that sort of thing. Some of the smaller ones. I know he wrestled out in Calgary, if I'm not mistaken, with RCW. So it'll be curious to see if maybe Breeze has the same sort of motivation, if he can get out there and do the same sort of thing. So I'll be keeping my eyes peeled because, I mean, you can't tell me that him and like an Alex Shelley wouldn't be just an absolutely fantastic matchups. So that'll be a lot of fun. That's coming up. Pluggo is going to be back right away, so we'll wait for him to come back, and I'll talk a little bit about the last weekend's GCW shows, and then he can chime in with his thoughts when he makes his return. But I know there was 2 last weekend. The first one we previewed on here was capped off with the 6-woman main event. That was a lot of fun. I'll wait for him to show up because I know he wanted to talk about that one too. But the one I was really hyped for was the triple threat tag match. You had Los Macitos versus the East West Express versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And I mean, I've mentioned before, I am a huge Motor City Machine Guns fan. Since their inception with Impact, with TNA, I've thought that they've been one constant where wherever they are, they always seem to deliver. Their time in Ring of Honor, the work they've done, separately in Japan, throughout all of the independents. So I was super hyped for that match. And the East West Express, I mean, Nick Wayne, one of the top wrestlers in independence right now. Sorry, I was reading Bebe's comment and I got a little confused there. And GCW feels like ECW today, and that's very true. I mean, the vibe that they have, the fans are into every show, and I mean, it's almost like where you would have, your standalone ECW shows, your big marquee events, and then the smaller type ones throughout, which people would be clamoring for, the tape traders and everything. So all of them always seem to have something for everyone. So the East West Express, Jordan Oliver, Nick Wayne. I mean, Nick Wayne, absolutely fantastic. Very excited for his eventual debut with AEW coming up later this summer, which was announced for the Saskatoon show in July, if I'm not mistaken, him versus Swerve. So those two combined are just, they're magic in the ring. I mean, I think that there's still a whole lot of potential for them, but right now, as a face run team, they're delivering on every facet. And I think with a possibility of an eventual heel turn down the line, because I mean, Jordan Oliver as a face is great, but as a heel, I fully believe that tenfold. So wait to see what happens there. But those three together in the ring, I know I posted a clip up on my Twitter and Instagram, if I'm not mistaken, but the synergy, the communication they had in the ring, they just worked so well together. It was very crisp. There wasn't too much in the way of missed spots or anything like that. So I was very happy with the match. It was a lot of fun. So the East West Express ended up pulling off the victory, and I think we spoke about it last week with just how far along Jordan Oliver has come. I mean, he was, when I first saw him with MLW, this is early 2021 when they were running no fan shows. That's when I first tuned in, and he was great. Like, and that was before he was with oh, I can't think of his name. Young, Dumb, and Broke. The three of them, they were together, and it's going to bug me until I figure it out. But I'll do that when Pluggo returns. The three of them, they were great in the ring. They had a lot of potential, and then eventually, he kind of broke off from MLW, started doing his own things. But this past year, he's had such an incredible glow up. I mean, he's put on some size, the charisma, the personality, it's all there. He's really forming into the complete package. He's someone who, in a matter of time, it's only a matter of time that somebody takes notice of what he's been able to do, whether it's an Impact, whether it's a WWE, bringing him into NXT. There was, some talk about them going back to how they used to run it, where they would have some more indie star power in there. And I mean, Jordan Oliver's a guy who you hitch your trailer to and let him go. I think he's got all the makings of a young Shawn Michaels. So it'll be great to see just what the future holds for someone like him. This is going to turn into the Jordan Oliver show. Jordan Oliver, Masha Slamovich, we definitely have our favorites here. So that match was a lot of fun. I did skip through some stuff. Not all of it is my cup of tea, but what can you do? And Nick Wayne making his AEW debut in a couple months. So that'll be good. I mean, his match with Swerve at the most recent Defy was a lot of fun. And even, I mean, you look back at some of the matches he's had over the past year. The match with Will Ospreay with GCW last year, that was incredible. That was one of my favorites that I saw. So I mean, he's someone who he's 18, if I'm not mistaken, but there's so much potential for like superstar power for Nick Wayne. So it'll be incredible to watch his path and just what's the word I'm looking for? The path that he takes. It's going to be great to watch, just to see him build to become the incredible wrestler that he has all of the potential to be. So there was that. There was the 6 women matchup or 6 wrestler matchup for the GCW women or GCW championship. I am just all over the place now. Pluggo throws me for a loop, and that's what happens. So we had Masha Slamovich defending the GCW title versus LuFisto, Shazza McKenzie, Allie. Allie was not in that one. She they changed it. It wasn't a 6 woman, it was a 5 woman. So it was Masha, LuFisto, Shazza McKenzie, Maki Ito, and Allison Kay. So now I'm going to second guess myself if it was 6 or 5. So we'll go with 5. But you know what? This match it really had something for everyone in it. So it have fun. I haven't seen too much of Shazza in GCW, so that was a bit of a welcome for me. Maki Ito, just absolute star. Like, she was incredible. No matter where she shows up, the fans just are into her full bore. So, pardon me. So it was very, there's always something going on there. There was, baby, Nick turns 18 July 10th. Said he'll do. So the first show after that is Saskatoon, July 12th, which is a Dynamite show. So I think that's the one that he's going to be doing. So the 5-way match for the GCW championship. I mean, there is something going on at all times. Mackie had the pizza cutter out going full bore. Pardon me, on Shazza, like just really digging in there, and the crowd was popping big time. There was a little bit of blood. I'm a fan of Allison Kay. I think that she doesn't get enough love in the wrestling circle, so I was happy to see her get a shot here in this match. And I mean, ultimately, like Masha ended up retaining, which I don't think anyone expected her not to, but it was a very fun match. So that's all I need to be entertained in wrestling. Give me a fun match and I'll be into it. The outcome can be a given. Like there's no chance like later tonight with Double or Nothing. I mean, the main event, the Four Pillars match, I don't think anyone expects MJF to lose, but it should still be an entertaining match, and I'm here for that. So that in that sort of scenario, I'm all aboard. So there was that. I mean, the scheduled, what was it? Ninja Mac. He unfortunately could not make the matchup against Joey Janela, so that one got rescheduled or pushed back. And I'm trying to think what the opener was. I'm drawing a blank, but that was the Friday night, the Saturday night of the GCW weekend. The Sunday night, I was able to check out a few more from there. There was a little bit more that I was into. We had Gringo Loco versus Ninja Mac, which was fantastic. I mean, Ninja Mac, the stuff he's been able to do at Noah is really like next level. He really has really made a name for himself on the independent scene. So some of the moves he can do, the high flying, that is very much my jam. That's my cup of tea. That's what I'm here for. So him and Gringo Loco together. Gringo Loco is someone who, just like Jordan Oliver, I got my first exposure to him was MLW. The same sort of thing during the COVID, the lockdown. I was watching that, and I had known nothing about Gringo Loco. So to me, I'm watching, and it took a little bit to get into him because I wasn't sure what his deal was. You know, like is he just trying to, is it more of a joke gimmick? Is it realistic? Like what is it? And then you start watching what he can do, the reaction he gets from fans, just how incredibly talented he is in the ring, and you're like, okay, he's the real deal. And he's been able to, consistently bring it every time. I mean, he was up here in Alberta not too long ago, wrestling for a couple promotions there. The GCW Lucha World shows that happen every WrestleMania weekend or every big pay-per-view weekend. So he's someone who's really turned it into a thing for him. So him and Ninja Mac had a really fun match. There was like a reverse Spanish fly going on. So yeah, there we go. The Nick Wayne. Here we go. July 12th, Nick Wayne versus Swerve. So that's okay. We can talk about Nick Wayne as much as you want because the kid is the real deal. So Gringo Loco, fantastic. Him and Ninja Mac had a lot of fun, and it was just a great time. So pardon me. So that was one of the ones I was able to check out. Maki Ito and Steph DeLander. That was the first one. Yeah, Gringo Loco on ROH, and him and Ninja Mac had a match on ROH, if I'm not mistaken. I think Gringo also faced off with Vikingo. So those two together are Gringo Loco being ROH, being able to do some stuff. I'm very curious if he's going to be brought in as a full-time ROH wrestler, and I think it would be a fantastic addition to there. So Maki Ito and Steph DeLander. Maki Ito, MDK, gang affiliated, and I'd asked Pluggo last week about Steph DeLander. I was like, why should I care about Steph DeLander? So I was only familiar with her stuff with NXT. So I didn't know too much about her. It was the very generic NXT wrestler type vibe I got from her. Nothing really stood out to her, but seeing her interacting with the fans, seeing her with Matt Cardona, the personality she's allowed to show, and she really comes across as a much bigger deal than she was ever portrayed when she was in NXT. So they had a fun match. I mean, Maki Ito, you're not getting the workhorse wrestler. You know, you're not getting a Bryan Danielson match. So I'm just going to we're going to bring Pluggo back in here. This is just going to take a second. Live TV. Oh, okay. Just give me 1 sec, Pluggo. I'm gonna do this while I'm talking. This is fantastic, and I disappeared. How do you want me to send it to you? Can I send it in private chat? Let's try. Oh yeah, okay, I sent it in private chat, but I don't think you're there, so we're gonna figure this out. You know, why not? It's Sunday morning. We're having fun talking wrestling. Live TV at its finest. At least I haven't started singing, so yeah. Steph Delander, yes. Yeah, just an absolute star. She comes across great, and her and Maki Ito have a lot of fun. Oh, I was talking about how Maki Ito is not a like Bryan Danielson-esque ring worker, you know, and like you don't need that with her. You just need to the personality she has, what she's able to bring. It's just a lot of fun. I mean, she connects with the crowd so well. So they had a really fun match. It's obviously building to the future with, you know, Nick Gage, Cardona, maybe all four, who knows? But I mean, all in all, it was a lot of fun. Thanks, baby. You know, it is real. You know, I'm doing the best I can, and here he is. He's joined me back. Let's bring him aboard as soon as he's settled. I'll wait for him to give me a thumbs up, and then I'll add him. Oh, there he is. Okay. So, hey, buddy.
Maybe it's a thumbs up. I'm on the phone while I try to figure out my internet issues here.
So I did the best I could.
You're doing fine without me. I just learned in that 5-minute span that you don't need me.
No, I definitely do. So
it sounds like you're buddy. You don't need Pluggo here anymore.
No, I do. I need Pluggo.
I figure this out.
So I talked a little bit about the Saturday GCW show. I figure we can finish up with that. Then we'll hit back up on Love Wrestling, and we can talk that just to you know, make it all the way around.
Sounds good. Where were you on that?
I just finished talking about how much fun Maki Ito and Steph Delander was.
Well, yeah, it's because Maki Ito's the funnest wrestler ever.
Well, I didn't expect just how great Steph Delander is in the ring. Like, yeah, she's a like the total package when it comes to like personality, ring work. Like, you get everything with her, and you weren't able to see that in NXT at all. So I was very, very stoked to watch her and Maki Ito.
No, yeah, definitely. I enjoyed the match a lot. I actually am getting a chance to see her in person next weekend, so I'm looking forward to that, to continue like we talked and you mentioned off while I was off, you know, slacking. You know, we're getting to see her grow and get to learn more from Steph Delander is an awesome thing.
Mm-hmm. The Joey Janela and Sawyer Wreck. I mean, that was the first Sawyer Wreck match I think I've ever watched, and she's fantastic.
She's awesome.
Like, just like towering over everyone. I mean, how has nobody been like, we are going to bring her into our promotion. She is going to be our star, because she has all the tools to be like a big effing deal in wrestling.
Yeah, I'm a huge Sawyer Wreck fan. She's one of my favorite independent wrestlers to watch. And who knows, maybe it's just because when she wrestles, like you can tell, like she loves this shit, right?
Yeah.
Like she's so invested in all of it. She looks like she's having a good time. There's even spots where like she's probably not supposed to be smiling but she is, like she just can't help herself. So I wonder if that factors into why she's not gone anywhere else. Maybe she just really loves GCW.
It could be.
But Joey Janela and hey, who's that? Oh,
that's Josh.
Hey, Josh. I'm on my phone, so I can't really see anything, and I don't have the comments on the side right now.
We got Josh. We got Lauren stopping by, who is watching some.
But
IWS
shout out to Josh Robinson, who does Legacy of right here on YouTube. If you can, after this, check out some of those Legacy ofs. They're fantastic. Also, him and JPJ's in the house. They did a Twitch stream, and they live streamed Night of Champions on 2K23, and they raised over $100 for LGBTQ communities over in Australia, which was fantastic.
Great job.
Well done, boys.
Yeah.
And then Lawrence, our lawyer. We'll talk about it here soon, Lawrence, but you need to get some paperwork drawn up. Rad's got to get sued.
So,
but yes, the Sawyer Wreck comment. Yeah, I love her. Joey Janela and her together.
Great combination.
Joey Janela, you were talking about it. He was supposed to face Ninja Mac and it got pushed. Yeah. Karam is not a slouch either. That was a fun match. I had a lot of fun watching him and Karam wrestle.
That was the first time I'd seen him. I wasn't too sure what to expect with Karam.
Dude's a monster. He's a beast. Yeah. He's changed up his look a little bit, and it's working for him. There's big things in that guy's future.
He looked like a very jacked up Josh Koscheck.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Did you check out the Alex Shelley, Alec Price match?
Yeah.
That was a whole hell of a lot of fun.
That's what happens. Like that's why I enjoy like especially GCW. They seem to nail it. I do love it. On other independent shows do it as well, but they give you this they'll give you this same scramble match. Then they'll have, a Mance Warner death match, and then they'll give you this insanely technical just sprint of a match, and it's got something for everyone. And Alec Price is on the come up, man. I think you give that guy 5 years, and we'll be talking about him maybe on a major promotion because he's got it. And then, of course, Alex Shelley's Alex Shelley.
Yeah. Like, I think Alec Price needs just a little bit more size to him just to fill out just a little bit. And then he's got it. Like, because you compare him and like just how jacked up Alex Shelley looked, and there's a very noticeable difference. So I think a little bit of size on Alec Price, and then he's got it. He has all the tools in the ring. So.
Oh yeah.
Talked about Gringo Loco Ninja Mac, Ito Delander, the World Championship match, Masha Slamovich versus Mance Warner. Just a bloodbath. I was not expecting that.
I was gonna say I thought that was kind of soft, and it was like they were hugging and kumbaya.
I'm watching, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh crap, he's busted open, just blood pouring down, the screwdriver in the mouth. And I'm like, this took a turn. So things have escalated.
Masha's no slouch. She just mixes it right up. And Mance Warner and her, oh god, it was a beautiful massacre. As I like to say. They left it all on the canvas, literally. Oh
yeah. They really did. It was just a bloodbath. And I think just because I had been watching just pure wrestling matches up until that, and then that happens, and
they saved that one, and you were like, oh.
This is a great way to cap off the night. That wasn't the last thing I watched. It was just fun, was there anything else that stood out to you GCW wise from those two shows?
Nothing that you didn't cover in the interim, so I don't want to hash over it. I did love the women's title match with a pizza cutter Makihito taking it to Shasta McKenzie. Shout out to Shasta McKenzie. She'll be coming LPW next month.
Facing off of Gigi Ray.
facing off with the money team. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
See
if but I have the...
that was good. And then for those that are here for my in-depth analysis of GCW this weekend, I only caught the first few. I caught the scramble last night. Oh, it wasn't last night. It was Friday night. They had a show. I caught the scramble match, which was pretty fun. And then Zack Sabre Jr. and Jordan Oliver had themselves a match, friends. Oh. Check that out. Like you talked about Jordan Oliver while I was, on break. We'll call that break. It was a match, and Zack Sabre Jr. So that was in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Double or Nothing is in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. Forbidden Door's coming up. Do we see a Zack Sabre Jr. just show up at a Double or Nothing? Maybe set up something for Forbidden Door next month. That would be pretty cool.
I think that would be very smart on their end.
Like, I don't want us to delve too far off the independent path, but I just started putting the dots together with it. And I mean, the match itself, like, again, Jordan Oliver can wrestle any style you want. And we've talked about it. You talked about it.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has evolved into like an all-around player. Like, it used to be like if you come on, he'd have some matches that you probably would look at and go, I don't know if that hit for me, but everything he's been doing lately has been hitting. So for me, if you haven't had a chance to go check it out, go check that match out. I plan on finishing that show's card tonight, so we might talk about that next weekend. But oh my god, because I haven't finished GCW from this weekend yet because I have, like I said at the top, son's birthday, been kind of busy.
Yeah, there was like what I really liked in this match, and I don't want to ruin too much of it for people who are going to head out and check it out, but I mean, everyone knows the style Zack Sabre Jr. wrestles, and him and Jordan Oliver going, tit for tat with it, going back and forth. Jordan tries to change it up with some high flying stuff, and he gets the advantage. Later on, he tries the same sort of thing, and Zach totally counters it, like just learning off of what, oh, he did it once, he's going for it again. Well, I'm not an idiot. So, and like makes it seem more like real instead of like, oh yeah, he's going to land the same move a half a dozen times, So it's just small things like that, like just, I really like about Zack Sabre Jr. Yeah.
He's a pretty good wrestler. I think
he's not bad.
He's all right for an independent guy. PCW, where'd you find this Zack Sabre guy? He's pretty good.
Yeah, just wrestling in small little bars in London. Like, come on.
Yeah. We're like, oh, we'll bring him in and give him a shot against Jordan Oliver.
So, do you have the read in front of you? Because if you do, I will cue that up and we can.
Everything crashed on me, so I don't have it on my phone. But if you pull it up, I can do my best. We got to pay the bills.
We do have to pay the bills. So
I've ran the read a few times to have it. So if you want to pull it up, I'll read it.
If I fail this miserably, I apologize. I'm learning on the go. So let's. I'm going to cue it up. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Live television. I usually push the buttons on this show opposed to other shows, but don't let me do that. But yes, BetStamp is our new partner. This episode has been brought to you by BetStamp. They are a brand new app, just like Trivago, just like Hotels.com. You go to BetStamp.com. You type in. It gives you all the listings for all the betting websites in your area, and they give you the best odds. Now, when when betting odds are set, that's how you make your money, right? So if one casino is offering better odds than the other, they will list it for you, so you know what to do. If you go to BetStamp right now.com and enter that love wrestling code in the promo, in the referral. See, I can't do it without the read. I'm not going to lie. But if you enter the referral code Love Wrestling, you will get set up and you will start winning today. And the difference is thousands of dollars. So if there's betting available in your area, go to Love Wrestling. It's completely free to join. Go to BetStamp. It's completely free to join. Do the Love Wrestling referral code, and they'll get you started today, giving you the best odds. I use it myself. It's a wonderful app. It is. It's really great. Like, you go onto the app. It's super easy to use. You simply just, whatever game you're looking for. So I don't think there's a major event tonight, but we'll use last night. So like Heat Celtics, if you wanted to bet on the Heat Celtics game and it's available in your area to do so, you'd go to BetStamp and they would tell you that for me in my area, MGM Grand, Caesars, DraftKings, Sports Duel or FanDuel, Points Bet, there's a few of them over here in Indiana. And they'll list them in terms of who's giving you the best odds for the over-under, who's giving you the best odds for, heck, prop bets, like most points scored at the half by a player, who's going to score the first bucket. It'll list it for you, and then you can go to those specific websites and place your bet there, and that could be the difference between winning $20 and winning $50 or however much you choose to gamble. But go to BetStamp, tell them Love Wrestling sent you to start winning today.
That was fantastic. You nailed that. Like, you were so good. You were so good.
The end of it's better. I chopped it up in the middle. But like I said, everything that I had all the BetStamp stuff on the computer. The computer is still crashed out. I don't know what's going on. StreamYard's the only website that wouldn't load. Everything else was. So of course I think it was a personal attack. Maybe it was. You know what? We're going to talk about it. It's LPW time. The Rads. It was probably them.
Probably. I mean, they were the longest reigning LPW tag team champions, 200 plus days.
No small feat.
No, that's huge. But I said last week, it's Paralira's time.
And so did Barat Garani. He was on this program last week in the chat saying
he was.
We're getting it done.
So, I'm a Barat Garani fan. I'm a supporter. Dang. What did they do? They made the Rads the Sads. They won the title. Just saying. I stole that Sads from Lawrence, but whatever.
Sads. I call them the Rods. Anyway, so LPW 15, for those that if you're in the chat and you don't know, that is our home Love Wrestling promotion. We have our own independent wrestling promotion here at Love Wrestling. And they had themselves a little show on Friday night called Vulgar Display of Powerbomb. LPW 15. We're up to 15 of these things.
Wow.
15. That's crazy. That's awesome. Like
it's
once a month, every month at the Alberta Rec Room in Canada.
Yeah.
Rec Room in Alberta, Canada. Sorry.
In Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And the next show, June 30th, day before Canada Day. No excuse why you can't go there. Get your Canada Day celebration on the night before. Just trail it right into Canada Day.
Are you trying to get me to go to Edmonton?
I am. Let's go.
You and Ben Oman.
Well, I'm there to hug you. Ben wants to fight you.
Oh, Ben and I. We maybe who knows? Maybe we'll Maybe we'll end up hugging it out similar to the guys in 7 because TJ Cannon and Mars is specialists. Well, that wasn't even the first match. The first match was Son of Irish versus Mitch Clark. LPW Challenge Championship. Mitch making his return off of injury, going up against Son of Irish, who has held this title because it was vacated by Mitch. So there's some history there because Mitch's injury had to vacate. Son of Irish got the win. He's held it. He's been a very, very, very good challenge champion. I love Son of Irish. I think Son of Irish is the future in LPW. He's got all the tools as well.
Yeah, he's been champion since February. So
no, hey, that's no small feat either. No knocking it here. But yeah, so that match was awesome. It ruled. But at the end of the day, Son of Irish gets the W. I wonder if that has anything to do with maybe Mitch being back, a little ring rust.
It could be. I mean, you have to wonder how much training he was able to get in while he was hurt. Just the quality of training, if he was able to go. I mean, because when you're recovering from injury, it's not the same as when you're able to go full bore. So even just the slightest change, and that could throw him off. So it'll be curious to see how he bounces back out of this.
If I could see a guy like Mitch Clark just laser focused on getting that title back that he never lost. So I wonder if we'll see what happens if we see this matchup again. This has been quite a fun little feud that they've had, and then of course it got a little derailed with Mitch getting injured, but I'm glad that they're back on course.
Let's see, and Bebe is going to check out Bayou Independent Wrestling Show in June.
Nice.
Let
us know how that goes. I'm always down to find new and fun independent wrestling. I can't even speak. Shows off the rails this morning.
That's
early.
okay. That's okay. Clandestine Society, they faced off with El Assassino and Sid Greed.
Nice. This was a fun match.
Yeah.
Just fun. Like I didn't know much about. We talked about Sid Green and El. What'd you say it was? I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it.
El Assassino.
El Assassino. I didn't know much about those two, so this was like an intrigue. Like, all right, I get to learn about a couple new wrestlers, and of course, huge fan of the Clandestine Society. Love Steve Crow, love MRB, love Taryn from Accounting. Those are my people. So I was just pumped. This match had a lot of fun spots. Crow was dancing. MRB was doing his thing. I'm still impressed that MRB still can go 100 miles an hour after that 8-hour match. I would still be sore.
Yeah. He's just brought it. I mean, I'm very amazed that he's still able to keep up that quality because, I mean, like I do 8 hours at work and I'm tired the next day. So, I mean, to wrestle 8 hours of matches, that's a lot.
Boris even shouted it out. He was like, MRB is a maniac. Like he's put him over. What do we got here? I can't see.
Lawrence, IWS was super fun last night. And after Green Phantom got him drunk. So
that is amazing. Green Phantom's a lot of fun. IWS, that I'm going to watch this week as well. Admittedly, full old man disclosure, that didn't start my time until like 10. And after throwing a party all day and entertaining, the wife and I crashed out at like 9:30.
That's a regular bedtime for me. So we got Omar, the newest contributor to Love Wrestling. Check out some of his work up on the site. He's stopping by to say what's up. So Omar, welcome.
Hey, welcome in. And if you get a chance, go to lovewrestling.ca on the interwebs and check out Omar's new debut. Not new, it would just be a debut article for us at Love Wrestling. We're super excited to have Omar in the fold here at Love Wrestling. He's a fantastic addition to this already stacked team.
Welcome, Omar. You had touched on 7, Mars the Specialist and TJ Cannon. So they collided. This was the mega powers exploding.
No, it's this way.
Not racist.
There we go. 7. Yes.
So, yeah. How was that one?
It was good. This one again, and we talked to Between Two Beards on a couple Thursdays ago. We talked Jack Pride about this. That 7 and Mars and TJ Cannon going 1-on-1. What's going on here, right? Like why? He just said sometimes brothers got to fight. So that's what this was. It was 2 brothers fighting. Just no love lost. Working out their differences is how the best way I can put it, right? So they got in the ring, they mixed it up. It got a little testy at the end. Mars gets the win. TJ's not feeling that. We're feeling there was maybe a little dissension in 7, like where I was sitting there like, oh no, are they already like this didn't work out the way Jack had hoped or Pride had hoped? Whoever made the decision, it was whether it was Jack or whether it was Pride to put the 2 in the ring together. I thought do we just spell the end for 7? And we'll talk about it later, but I don't think we did. But no, it was a classic like I'm mad at you. Let's just work this thing out in the ring. And Mars the Specialist, aka Reed Matthews. I think that's Reed. I'm almost certain they booked Reed in that match.
You got the thickness and the littleness. Mars is the littleness. Dude is still jacked.
Oh yeah, Mars is a maniac. I love it. TJ Cannon. It was a great match.
Yeah.
So I suggest, and again, for those that are in this chat that maybe are wondering, hey, you're talking about this LPW show. I don't know where to find it. I would love to watch it. Head over to our Twitch, or twitch.tv/Love Wrestling CA. The full show is up right now. If it disappears from that just means that Spencer is chopping it up and he will put all the matches out on YouTube throughout the month to get us ready for LPW 16. But yes, you can find it right now on the Twitch channel. Check out the full show. Boris is on commentary, Audible Chocolate. Spencer's doing his damnedest. He's out there. He does it all, man. Speaking of MRB, let's shout out the promoter that is Spencer Love. He's out there promoting the show, booking the show. running the ring announcements. Dude does it all. I don't know how he's probably still sleeping from.
He is a machine. Like he does
Spencer
everything.
Machine.
Yeah, he's like a Terminator, just a wrestling Terminator.
Somebody clip that, please. I appreciate that. He's a wrestling Terminator. I don't think
he is. Like,
but yeah, I will say this, man. Spencer needs to get some. He's pulling an Adam Pearce out there, not getting control of that locker room. Some shenanigans have been going off, man. We had some shenanigans on Friday night.
Maybe he needs to appoint a commissioner of LPW.
I'm ready to step into that role and be unbiased as possible.
I know on Between Two Beers earlier this week with JPJ, you had a stop in by TY to hype up his match with Michael Allen, Richard Clark, a street fight. So
I don't even know if he had the match, if he just yelled at me.
He was there. I don't know. I had my question. I was like, is he going to wear the street fight attire? You know, like sleeveless shirt, jeans, knee pads over top, cowboy boots, like looking like, you know, Dory Funk in a street fight. That's what I was hoping for. I don't think it happened though.
No, he wore the cutoffs. He didn't wear jeans. He wore some green. It was some green pants, but it wasn't his normal TY attire for sure.
Okay.
But he looked like a badass. That match was next. Listen, I feelings of TY and the Rads aside, because I'm an unbiased journalistic integrity person that I am, that you only get from Pluggo. This match was fun. This match was hard hitting. The street fight was brutal on all. Michael Richard Allen Clark had the upper hand for a good portion of the beginning. Like it was looking, and this is again, TY, if you're listening or if you hear this, I'm not dogging you. It looked like he was going to wipe the floor with TY early, like because he came out firing. He was on all cylinders, and then the tables kind of turned, and then TY. And then oh my god, the ladder spot. I don't want to spoil everything in terms of like tell you spot for spot what happened in the match because I want you guys to go check it out. Go seek it out. It's the third match on the card because I thought this was the first street fight in LPW history, and I think it's going to be the standard.
Okay.
Like it was very good. TY took a bowling ball to the nuts.
I did see that. I saw the full like form, you know, of Michael and Richard Clark. Yeah, right down the middle.
The ladder spot was gnarly, and then of course, we're having this great match, enjoying ourselves. We're all having a good time in the chat, and then Bungerman gets involved, and by Bungerman, Ben Omen, of course, gets involved in the match and messes around, messes with the head of officials needs to stay away from officials. Have some integrity, Ben.
Yeah.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, TY gets the victory. He is now your number one contender to the LPW Grand Championship, and I believe nothing has been firmly announced, and I don't want to misspeak because I don't remember if they mentioned it on commentary or not. I don't know if that means it's automatically happening at 16 or it's a future one. So we'll see. Stay tuned to all of our socials for announcements on that. I can't remember if Boris had mentioned that or not, but I know he gets the contendership. It was fun. It was a great time. I was talking all sorts of trash on social media during it, and of course they win. TY wins. So he wants an apology. I said if the Rads all won at LPW, and I didn't even include Mitch because the first match back, I just said if TY, Larry, and Rich all won, I would apologize on Beards officially. TY still wants his apology because he won. So we'll see. Stay tuned Thursday. We'll see what happens. Maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll grow a heart by then.
We saw the first defense of the LPW Scramble title, and I love the idea of a Scramble title. So Jack Bride was defending his newly won title, faced off with Mo Jabari, Thickness Reed Matthews, TFA Taryn from Accounting, and the wily veteran himself, Jared Rogers. So I know also should mention Jared Rogers did an interview up on Monday Night Shaw, so go check that out up on Love Wrestling. So stay tuned for that. Learn more about the Wiley veteran. So.
He also did a sit down with JPJ ahead of LPW 15, talking about this scramble match. So if you want a little bit more of what he was feeling going into it, check that out.
Lawrence saying you don't have to say a word. So I mean, he's got you covered.
Lawrence is my legal counsel. The second, we'll talk about it here in a minute. What the transgressions that happened at LPW. Maybe I would have to say maybe the black eye on the night. We'll just go with that. No spoiler. But yes, the scramble match absolutely humped, as they say. And Jared Rogers, second match in LPW, third match overall if you count. Well, maybe it's his fourth now. I don't know if he wrestled at the clandestine before. If somebody's in the chat and they know, because now they're doing the clandestine society / LPW shows ahead of LPW like a prelude. Yeah. I don't know if Rogers wrestled there. So if he did, you know what? I think he did, because he has got a loyal fan base. The Twitch chat was like all night was like, where's Jared? Where's Jared? We want Jared. Like, is the Jared match coming up next? And then when it was, and they were like, last night he got hosed. And so I'm assuming he did wrestle. So he's 4 matches into his career. He's got a huge following. The guy's money in the ring. The wily veteran, Jared Rogers. But the scramble, this was Jack Pride's their first defense. There were heavy hitters in her. TFA, first ever Grand Challenge champion, longest reigning Challenge champion. You know, she's been in some high profile matches in LPW. Mo Jabari is just a phenomenal athlete and just all around badass wrestler. Like, my God, that guy is. So that's one of those guys that I look at and I go, how has nobody said, like, I need that on my roster right now? And then you had the thickness Reed Matthews, who's just, he's a hoss, man. He could have been there. He just hurts people.
I know very little of Reed Matthews. I've seen some of his matches, follow each other on social media, but like, he is the type of wrestler that I love to watch. So I'm like, every time he has a matchup on Love Wrestling, anything that I can go out of my way to check out, I always do. The guy is incredible. So very stoked that he was in this match.
Well, if you want to get to know about Reed Matthews, go to lovewrestling.ca and there's a little get to know interview with Reed Matthews on there, written by yours truly.
Oh, I know what I'm checking out later today.
Plug, which I try to highlight independent wrestlers. I have one in the can I got to finish this weekend, and then I got to get back on and getting some more going because those are fun. But anyway, yes, Reed Matthews, I love him. He's got a beard. He's thick. We love that. We love Church thick. That's our guy. But no, this was the first defense of the Scramble Championship, and I said it in the chat, and I find it hard to believe. Like, LPW, this is a staple of their shows. We do Scramble matches better than anybody. Like, GCW does a very good scramble match too, but there's just always so many elements that Spencer and them throw into these things. And at the end of the day, Jack Pride, they retained their LPW Scramble Championship in an absolute barn burner. There was never a dull moment. There was never a moment of like, oh, you know how some companies higher up the food chain will just say, like, you know, you see wrestlers kind of waiting for their spots. That wasn't happening here. This was just like everybody's doing something. If you're not paying attention to the outside ring, the inside ring, something's going, like everything. It was awesome. And congratulations, Jack Pride, on the retention of that title.
We had the LPW tag team title. Paralira becoming the new tag team champions, defeating the Rads. We touched on that a little bit earlier. Pardon me.
Yeah, so we touched on it.
Yeah.
Before we start that breakdown of the match, for those that don't know, I am Pluggo. I represent Between Two Beards, Thursday night flagship program here on Love Wrestling. We have exclusive rights to the sparkler usage in any form. We invented sparklers. We created the gimmick. The Rads stole said gimmick. They were sent a cease and desist letter by our good friend Lawrence, our good lawyer Lawrence, our friend as well. They were told they are not allowed to use the sparkler without our permission in any facet on an LPW show. And what did they do during their entrance? They lit some sparklers. You're getting sued.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable behavior. But
no place for that in wrestling.
No place for that.
It's
Stop
Bush League.
Gimmicks. Anyway.
Bush League, Rads.
Said earlier,
League.
200 days as your LPW tag team champions. Your inaugural, your only tag team champions, mind you. So 200 days is quite an impressive feat. Again, just integrity aside, or no, integrity, full journalistic integrity, full bore. They're very good in the ring. Larry and Rick are a very good tag team. I may not like their antics, I may not like their tactics, but they're very good in the ring. But Paralera was ready. They were hungry. I think in a lot of ways, and I don't know, I don't have any insight in this. I'm not an insider by any stretch, but I think that the LPW, the locker room was like, it's time for some new blood in this tag division. So like, yes, Barack Arani and Sheik Shabazz have wrestled the Rads before and they've came up short, but I think they were hungry. They were refocused. The match was no shenanigans whatsoever happened. Nothing went no. There was some shenanigans at the end. If I have to be completely honest, the Paralera won with some nefarious means. There was a tag belt to the head of one. I don't know. All I'll say, if I was being completely honest, was that it looks like the Rads got a little taste of their own medicine here, and it probably didn't taste good. So I'm interested to see what happens going forward. But but not to take any shine away, because look, you won the championship. Now you're the champions, right? Like, you get the championship by any means necessary. That's what you do in wrestling, right, Blair? I'm super excited to see what a Paralera looks like heel tag run is going to be, because of course that's a heel move what they did. So they're full blown. I think they were kind of tweening a little bit for a while there, but I think there's a new attitude here, and it's worked in just LPW alone. It worked for Zoe Sager to say, you know what, I'm done waiting. I'm taking what's mine. So we'll see if maybe that new attitude for Paralera is going to project them to a 200-day title reign. I'm interested to see what happens to the Rads. I've already been informed to be prepared for some kind of rebuttal about what I said this weekend, but whatever.
Maybe we look out and we see one of those double turns. You know, maybe we're going to see good guy Rads coming out of this.
Am I ready? Good guy Rads?
They're going to be respectful to you.
Are they?
Yeah, that's good. How they're going to be faces.
If they're respectful, I won't know what to do.
Then you have to go heel.
If they're nice to me, I'll be like, what's going on? I'm confused. They show up Thursday and they just give me a hug.
They're just super nice, asking about your day.
But no, it was a very fun match. And again, I don't want people to think that we're not giving you a full move breakdown because we're being lame. I just want you to go.
Yes.
Because this, admittedly, selfishly, this is our home promotion. We want you to go check these matches out, get to know these people. They're fantastic in the ring. You won't be disappointed. So go check that match out. But again, I'm interested. Is there a double turn happening? I don't know. I don't have to apologize going forward, which is interesting. So we'll see what happens on Thursday, but I digress. But that match ruled.
Now, the night capped off with the LPW Grand Championship. Zoe Sager facing off with Sebastian Wolf. And I mean, both of these two, they both bring something completely different to the ring, but both are so incredible as soon as they step foot in there. So I can only assume that this was a fantastic matchup.
Yes, it was. So Zoe comes out of the gate hot. She didn't even get her ring gear off. Okay, so we'll set the table. Sebastian Wolf, as a state of emergency is no more. He's going on a singles run. He's trying to prove himself as a single. Essentially, he calls up Love Rest and says, I want in. And Spencer makes the right call and says, all right, here you go. I want to see you versus our best, right? You're going to call me out. You want me in? You want to come to the promotion? Come beat our best, which is what? Your grand champion. But Zoe, for all of her intangibles, is about half the size of Wolf. Wolf is he's huge, right? So she knows she's going to have to get the upper hand quick. So she, I think our music's still playing. She jumps off the top rope in her jacket, drop kicks him, sets the tone for the whole match, like right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then Valerie says she's a fury, like just a fury pace. She's trying to take, she's chopping wood, as they say. She wants to get this done, right? Why wouldn't you? It's Sebastian Wolf. He's a monster, and she wants to keep that championship. So she's going at breakneck pace. The X factor in this whole thing is Reed Matthews. He's back out after his Scramble Championship loss. He's been the X factor for her whole title run because I'm just going to say it. Wolf had her pinned, had her done, dead to rights, and a referee just somehow fell out of the ring.
Oh.
Yeah, Reed. I get it. You're protecting your own. Smart move. But and that's what a Reed Matthews brings to the table for Zoe is like, we're gonna help you keep this championship. Now Zoe's fantastic on her own, but if you're gonna align with Reed, then boom, that'll help. So then of course the match continues. She's choking out Wolf. Wolf's working her pretty good for a little bit, and then she takes the knee tape off. She got her knee taped off. She takes knee tape off. She's choking out Wolf at the end there, just like, and he's fading, and the ref is out cold. There's no ref. And then she pins him, and another ref sneaks in. 1, 2, 3. She gets the win. She retains. She's still your LPW Grand Champion. And that's fantastic. We're going to a little bit of overtime because of my technical difficulties here. But we also forgot to mention that Seven, we talked about Seven getting, we were, it looked like there was some dissension after Mars and TJ. Seven interfered with the Rads match. And then we had the moment where TJ and Mars hugged it out during the match because they got involved with Ben. They kind of eliminated Ben, so to speak, and had him. So he wasn't even there to see I think the way the camera was set up, we had to run just hard cam. So it was, if I'm not mistaken, so Ben's at the top of the ramp. The Seven is blocking him off with Thad. Paralera knocks him out with the title. Ben's the only one that sees it, in terms of like the wrestlers, because he's trying to get there, but Seven's blocking. So I think we're going to get some Seven and some Rads, more feuds off of this, which will be a lot of fun. But yes, at the end of the night, Zoe Sager, 1, 2, 3, still your grand champion, still well deserved. She did it in some ways, but again, I think she had to, and I know that she did it. She had some heel tactics, but Sebastian Wolf is a monster, man. The dude is just that damn good, and I can't slight her for doing whatever it took to just get past that hurdle.
So I mean, LPW 16. I think you should lariat Saturday, June 30th. That's a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's a Friday. It's a Friday. Sorry,
last Friday of every month. Blair, read the press notes, man.
Oh, I'm all over the place. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Friday, June 30th. We're going to party into Canada Day. It's going to be a great celebration. Shaz McKenzie's going to be there. Yeah. Gigi Ray, all your favorite Love Wrestling superstars are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Gigi is the first match announced, and that is a hell of a match to announce first.
Yeah. So, look for all the information up on the Love Wrestling social. Stay tuned. We will be talking more about it as matches get announced. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to wrap this up right away, but we're going to touch on the Black Label Pro show coming up that you are going to be going to next weekend.
Yes, sir. Fancy wrestling too.
I've got the lineup here. Is there anything that really stands out to you that you're really stoked for?
Oh, I mean, if I'm being completely honest and I'm being completely upfront, I bought the ticket because Speedball is going to be there.
Yes.
Because I love Speedball Mike Bailey. He's fighting Kevin Fu of Violence. Kevin Koo. Yeah, sorry. Of Violence is Forever. And like Violence is Forever is fantastic. So that match is gonna rule. But yeah, I bought it because of Speedball, because admittedly I missed when he was at Warrior in Chicago. I decided not to make the drive, and I kind of kicked myself for it. And then I saw he was going to be on this card, and I was like, I got to go see him live at least one time, because I think he's fantastic. So coming to my neck of the woods, so I'll make the drive. Other than that, though, admittedly, just announced this is a little bit of a smaller shout. Local tag team for my literally pretty close vicinity here. Twist and Flip just got added because Isaiah Moore's injured, so I think they added in Twist and Flip, which is guys that he trained. So that'll be a cool time to see those guys. Billy Starks is going to be there. Mm-hmm. We'll talk more in depth about some of these matches next week. Maybe we'll make picks and put some wagers on it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Tankman's going to be there. I love Calvin Tankman. He's that dude.
Tom Lawler is going to be there.
Huh?
Tom Lawler is going to be there. Filthy Tom.
Lawler, my buddy, one time I told so fun. I live in a big-ish for the state, the fourth biggest city in the state. But we also are Indiana, so nothing stays open super late. And I was at a Warrior show, and Tom Lawler, we're making our rounds, and he's like, "Hey guys, do you guys know anywhere good to eat around here?" And I was like, "I'm really sorry, buddy. You're not gonna once the show ends, you're not gonna find anything substantially great outside of maybe some fast food or some 24-hour diners." And he was kind of bummed about but he's cool. He was very cool. He talked to me and my buddy for a good 20 minutes just about the area and what sights to see and things like that. And I was like, well, this is cool.
I'll share my story and then we'll wrap things up. But at a Time Bomb Pro show down in Fargo in October last year, the promoter was like, "Hey, we're going for lunch beforehand. Come meet up with us." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So I waited. I walked in with them, and then he kind of sat at a table with some of his other friends, and I didn't know where to sit. So I ended up sitting with Kevin Koo, Sandra Moon, and Tom Lawler, and the only person not a wrestler at the table, and felt so out of place. And I'm just like, just keep your mouth shut. Don't talk about wrestling. They don't want to talk about wrestling with you. So I just sat there and we're looking through the menu. And the one interaction I had with Tom Lawler is he was looking through the menu. And he's like, "Oh man, I got to take my shirt off today. So I got to make sure I eat something like that. I'm not going to feel bloated." And then me being like, "Hey, I'm going to say something." It's like, "Well, since I don't have to, I guess I can eat whatever I want." And I'm like, what are you doing, Blair? Just shut up. And then I just sat in silence the entire time because he looked at me like, so.
Well, you just reminded me, speaking of Sandra Moon, she had a fun match with Maki Ito at GCW this past weekend. That was fun.
Nice.
I watched that yesterday while I was grilling.
So,
full disclosure, Pluggo's we had birthday party for my son.
Yeah.
He's 8. Today is his 8th birthday. Shout out to my Oliver. He's the man. But I was grilling, and I set up a TV Fire Stick so I could watch Night of Champions and some GCW. Everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I like wrestling."
So there was a spot later on the card where Tom Lawler actually said my name. So I just figure he's my second best friend now. So
I told him where he could eat, which it ended up being, I said, you can go to Burger King right around the corner from this venue.
Yeah.
So that probably wasn't what he was looking for, but yeah, no, that's going to be fun. I don't have the card in front of me. Again, everything has crashed on my end, so I don't want to mess up the system. But who's he wrestling again?
I'll punch it up. He is facing off with, I just had it, I think it's Eli Ulsom.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah, Eli Ulsom. So you know what?
A lot of fun. I'm excited to be there.
I mean, that's going to be next Saturday. So I think what we're going to do is maybe that's one where we'll preview fully. This is just a quick little dabble on it because we're past time already. So we'll take a look at that next week. We'll run through things. Maybe we'll talk about the Defy show as well. That's happening the same night because there's some bangers on that one. So
Brad versus Billy Starks for the Black Label Pro Championship match was just at that's going to be cool.
Yeah, and Mayu Yamashita is going to be there.
Mayu.
Yeah, there's some fun matches. Miracle Generation versus the Bang Bros.
Love the Bang Bros. The Bang Bros are so much fun, and they're nice guys too.
So we'll go through the whole thing. Don't you worry.
We'll do the whole thing next week. But today here on this very channel, before we plug our stuff and get out of here, Blair, here at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, probably I don't know what time that is for you. Is that noon? And then
that's noon.
And then 11 a.m. for our friends over there in the other parts of Canada. Sunday brunch, the brunch gimmick. Sunday brunch. I keep calling it Sunday brunch. It's the brunch gimmick now. formerly known as the Sunday Brunch. The crew will be there. I'm not sure what match they've decided to watch. It might be an LPW match. So if you're, again, looking for more LPW stuff, head over there, hang out with the brunch gimmick here at 1 o'clock. I think that's all we've got going down today, but it is Sunday. There is Double or Nothing. There's plenty of wrestling going on. So whatever you watch, enjoy it. Have fun. This weekend is just stacked with wrestling.
It's Sunday Fun Day, so it's good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
For those listening, watching, where can they find you?
Before I say that, do you know how to close this out?
I was just gonna say, hey, I'll play the intro so we have some music and a video, and then hit end broadcast. So okay, I figured that's
right. That's how you do it. Okay. So, my bad. We'll get you schooled up here, and hopefully, like I said, nothing crashes next weekend. But we'll be back next weekend at 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
Previewing Black Label Pro and anything else that we want that stuck out to us from the week that was. But you can find me at Pluggo _ on Twitter, at Pluggo Loves Wrestling on all the other social medias. You can find me here every Thursday night on Between Two Beards with JPJ, doing the damn thing. This week, I believe our guest is Tom from Tom Talks Rubbish, and we're going to break down all of the stuff that happened on AEW, Night of Champions, you name it. We'll figure it out. We might talk some Celtics basketball in there as well, because, JPJ's Boys Force Game 7. And, of course, right here with Blair for Exposure. That's where you can find me.
Whew. That was quite a bit. Good job.
A lot going on. What can I say? I'm a busy guy all of a sudden. It's crazy.
So, for myself, you can find me up on Twitter at GrainmakerPod. Just dropped a Double or Nothing preview episode with Pluggo, so go check that out. Get you primed up. You can hear all about our little shenanigans and how we're going to have a little fun with this. Our bet we got going on. Up on Twitter, all the social medias. Just search Grainmaker Wrestling Podcast. And I do some stuff here up on Love Wrestling for Exposure every weekend with Pluggo, and sometimes I hop on brunch as well. So that is the best place to find me. And make sure you go to Love Wrestling, go to their Twitter, go to their YouTube, go to Twitch, all of the socials. Go follow them, shoot them a like, whatever is the form of flattery on these social media websites. Go show them some love, because that's what we're here for, is wrestling, and we all love it. So why not?
Yep.
So I think is that everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to play the 15-second video that I see is up on our thing. We're going to wrap it up till next weekend. We made it through. I was a little nervous there in the beginning. I was like, do I stay? Do I go? What do I do? So
hey, you power through.
Nerve-wracking.
Fine. You did awesome. Who needs me? You got this.
I need you. I need you.
Till next time.
Okay.
We're out.
Okay. See ya.